So on day one of the Biden administration, they started rolling out their plan for American energy to be able to raise prices for American consumers to drive people towards other energy sources that they've pre-selected. Day one, they announced they're going to stop the Keystone Pipeline, which is not just Canadian oil coming in, it's also coming in from Montana. They're going to stop leasing of federal lands, and they aggressively started doing the work behind the scenes to shut down the access to capital to anyone who wanted to be able to loan or give money to any entity that wants to expand pipelines. They put out the threat immediately about any permits, any regulatory help to be able to do anything with pipelines or expand anything with fossil fuels. John Kerry has recently announced that we're going to be done with coal by 2030, which may be a shock to a lot of folks that actually have coal-fired plants that are extended out for their life and amortization for the next 30, 40 years, that the administration is intentionally looking to be able to end that in 9 years. But it's not stopped with just raising the prices on the United States and on American citizens. Now they're trying to deal with the political consequences of what's going on. And so in a horrible foreign policy conversation, now Biden is talking about cutting off any kind of export of natural gas to any of our other countries. What will occur with that? They'll go to Russia to be able to get that natural gas, not to the United States, increasing dependence in Europe for Russia, which is a terrible geopolitical decision again. And it will put out the immediate threat that the Americans can't be trusted for energy policy, so don't trust them long term. The effect of that is raising the prices over there. It will continue to be able to hurt American producers that are here, and will continue to be able to kill American jobs and increase Russian jobs again, as this administration seems to be dead set in doing whatever it can to help the Russian economy with their pipelines and with their contracts in Europe, but hurting American producers at the same time. This is crushing the American economy in many ways, and it's crushing the American consumer. But it is absolutely by design to try to force people into using solar, wind, other things that are unreliable. Unless you think that this is just ended and it's just the White House, just today in the Energy and Natural Resources hearing today, there were multiple bills that were brought up for a vote that passed on a partisan vote today to continue to disallow the expansion of oil and gas leasing and new properties today. And though the conversation was, shouldn't we think about, at some point how we're going to deal with American energy, they just passed them right on and continued to be able to vote here today to be able to knock out American energy production on federal land still. This will be an issue. And as Americans pay more in Oklahoma for heating their homes this summer and this winter, as they pay for all that hot water tank and everything else, as they pay for their gas in their truck and their vehicle, this is a big issue for a lot of folks. And as they try to talk about the Strategic Petroleum Reserve and releasing that for a few weeks to lower price, that is about short-term political gain, not actually helping the consumer long-term and American jobs.